All right, let's clear things up. As early as the beginning of the year, everyone was excited about the huge chance that XRP would reach $10,000. And you know what? That guess just got a huge boost. Larry Fink from Blackrock is officially supporting this. Take a look at this. He's not just talking about $10,000 per XRP. Of course not. He's making it sound like a basic need. Welcome back to Moneyside, your one-stop shop for everything XRP. Before we get into the meat of today's post, let's quickly catch up. Could you do me a favor? Please hit that like button, subscribe button, and notification bell button to join our great group. Also, just so you know, we're getting ready for a huge XRP gift as we get closer to 60,000 subscribers. To enter the giveaway, all you have to do is follow these 3 easy steps. So be ready and tuned in. Don't forget to leave a comment with the word #Moneyside to make sure you get in on the giveaway. This is where it gets juicy. Imagine that big names in finance like BlackRock and Vanguard are now seriously thinking about using XRP for their foreign transactions. Don't worry, things will get better. There are rumors that BlackRock will release an ETF that focuses on XRP. You did hear that right. There's more though. That was not all Larry Fink did. He's looking at the huge real estate market, which is worth $30 trillion. Can you guess what the future holds for it? That's it. The XRP ledger is all set to turn everything into a coin, and a huge $1.2 quadrillion from the International Swaps and Traders Association is going to run through the XRP ledger and RippleNet. Don't think that $10,000 per XRP is all there is to it. The value of each XRP could go through the roof, reaching as much as $60,000. Wow, that's really cool. Let us now move on to the next part. Another big surprise came from Larry Fink of BlackRock. There's more to him than just talking. Things are about to get really big for Ripple and its digital currency XRP. Everything will be tokenized, and the next part of our movie has a clip that will get people's attention. The move by BlackRock toward an XRP ETF was confirmed by Larry Fink himself. Let's not wait any longer. Feel free to watch this clip now. We've seen a lot of strange things happen in the crypto world lately, especially with XRP. On the famous market crypto.com, XRP's value went through the roof and reached an amazing $43,000. It's not just a one-time thing. XRP's value is rising quickly and suddenly more and more often. Remember last week when we talked about a $7,000 XRP bug at a major exchange? Now it's crypto.com's turn, and it looks like these sudden leaps in XRP's value are happening all the time on different markets. But let's talk about something else that I've found through a lot of study. It's just as interesting as BlackRock or the overall rise in the XRP market. We're going to talk about Gary Gensler, the famous SEC head who took over for Jake Clinton. Gensler always puts XRP in the security category, which most of you may already know. This is where it gets interesting. Robert M. Gensler is Gary Gensler's identical twin brother. They are the same age and look a lot alike. As vice president of T. Rowe Price, Robert is a very important person there. If you look a little more closely, you'll see that T. Rowe Price isn't just any investment company. It's one of the biggest ones that is putting a lot of money into Bitcoin, Ethereum, and yes, XRP. There seems to be a strange link here. Gary Gensler, who is in charge of the SEC, keeps calling XRP a security. However, his twin brother is very involved with an investment company that has a lot of money invested in XRP and other cryptocurrencies. It's an interesting contrast that makes me wonder about the complicated dynamics at play in the world of cryptocurrency investments and laws. Now we come to an exciting option. Could Robert Gensler, vice president of T. Rowe Price, know something that no one else does about XRP's possibilities, like they do about Bitcoin and Ethereum? When you think about how much the company has invested in these 3 cryptocurrencies, this idea starts to make sense. In public, the SEC says there is no such thing as insider trading, but many stories and investigations have shown that there is. These investigations, which have mostly been about market manipulation and insider trading, have frequently shown that the SEC is doing things that aren't right, and it looks like a pattern is starting to form. It looks like SEC employees are telling their friends and family about which digital assets might soon no longer be considered stocks. Then, these family members and friends invest early, and when the asset is officially labeled non-security, its value goes through the roof. This lets them make a lot of money by buying low and selling high. In this situation, let's think about the chance that Robert N. Gensler got inside information from his brother Gary Gensler about how the SEC might lose a case against XRP. This kind of information could mean that Congress wants to settle the case between Ripple Labs and the SEC. This is a great time for smart buyers to buy XRP, but seeing T. Rowe Price put more and more money into Bitcoin, Ethereum, and most especially XRP adds another layer to this story. The cryptocurrency community is talking a lot about how XRP could hit unbelievable highs like $10,000, $20,000, or even $60,000. Notably, analysts who have been bullish on XRP like Jack the Rippler think its value will skyrocket, possibly going over $589. Even though this prediction is very bold, it shows how much people are interested in and guessing about XRP and its possibilities in the cryptocurrency market. It looks like Wall Street wants a piece of the XRP pie. An XRP ETF will be the first big play. But let's look into this event more deeply than just the surface. Crypto Basic has some interesting news for us. An analyst says that JP Morgan has made a big move into XRP, which has caught the attention of a former head of Ripple. This news really made me scratch my head, and we need to talk about it. This is how the story goes. Ben Armstrong, who used to work for the BitBoy crypto brand, brought up some controversial comments about JP Morgan's alleged investment in XRP, which made an ex-Ripple director respond. Armstrong, who is well known in the cryptosphere, wrote a series of posts about this. He says that JP Morgan has bought a huge amount of XRP tokens, 7.5 million of them. Armstrong then says that this move is worth about 7.5% of all of JP Morgan's wealth. But wait, this math doesn't make sense at all. That being said, 7.5 million XRP, which is worth $4.46 million right now, isn't even close to 7.5% of JP Morgan's wealth, since the bank's total assets were valued at $3.89 trillion in 2023. Armstrong's math doesn't quite work out.